Okay, namaste. I think this is week 4 of our Adore Your Core program. And so there's 3 more lessons or 3 more classes after this one. And this is a class where I'm going to kind of move pretty quickly through the various poses and hopefully not over explain, no mum yoga splaining for poses. But what I do want you to check in with is whether you know where your multifidi are yet. Because I think these are the part of our core that we often underrate and just don't even necessarily acknowledge that for all of this to hold together, we need the multifidi as well. So like quick anatomy lesson, and for you to even, maybe even if it helps to stand up or when you're doing it in one of your poses, you're going to feel for these little, there's like a set of muscles that are kind of around your spine like a ladder up and down here. And if I were to lift my leg like that, I'm straight away going to feel some of those muscles engage. So even just thinking about lifting your leg can turn those guys on. Just like think about it. and those little muscles in the back, your multifidi, start to fire up. Can you feel something going on in there? Yeah, Daisy's got them. Woohoo! Anaya's got him. Got him? Yeah. So these guys are, whenever I'm cueing you to like drop your pelvis, drop your pubic bone down, and like we want butt to move back, what we're actually doing is trying to turn these guys on. We want them on when we're using our core. Did you get them, Roz? Yeah. I can see you. Like, I love the yawning. So like anatomy lesson at 6 o'clock in the morning. You guys are doing awesome. So that's what we're always trying to go for. And if you can think about these muscles that we've all been working, we've been breathing into the diaphragms and trying to engage the transverse abdominis. These guys, we're ignoring our six-pack. Transverse abdominis, we're getting the pelvic floor, we're pulling these guys up, they're attaching here to the transverse abdominis, and then we also want the multifidi to kind of close and cinch that corset, that metaphorical corset for us. And they're acting as bones. That's the way one of my teachers, Katie Bowman, who's a bio mechanist machine lady, she describes all of these muscles. These are our bones. If you think about it, we've got no bones between here and here, except for our spine, obviously, but our spine can't be holding all of our load. So these guys all contribute to create another layer of essentially bones for us. But they allow us to move around and to dance and to bend down and to reach up. And so they're movable bones. It's a bit weird saying that out loud. And, when you read it in a book, it sounds a lot more legit, but hopefully that kind of makes sense. So I'm going to check in with you. I want to hear about your toothbrushing, obviously, Anaya, but more that your kind of any of your habitual movements that perhaps you've noticed in this last week. I've talked about how I've noticed I cheat on my squatting. I cheat. I don't do this. I don't squat. I've noticed I do this like half like forward bend thing to pick things up. It's like I'm an old lady and I'm totally compensating. Like I do this weird kind of contortion and I don't know why. I think my perception is that it's more efficient, but what it's doing is it's pulling all of the fascia around my sacrum out of alignment on a regular basis, particularly when I'm ovulating and my relaxin hormone is super high. So then as soon as I get into those weird positions, boom, my lower back goes out, my whole core is not functional. So yeah, so I'm trying to change that by instead squatting down or bending over. And that's crazy. It's amazing how often I'm having to catch myself in the act. Like I keep catching myself going, oh, I did it again. Um, so yeah, so I'll ask Daisy first. You were first in class, so I'll check in with you first, honey.
Sure. I found out when I'm trying to pick something up, well, a lot of times I'll have a little baby in my arm. Well, usually not Sky, I'll put him down, but the little baby who can't walk, I'll do like a forward lunge. So I was gonna ask if that is okay. It definitely, if I had my choice, I'd put baby down, but like, I'm like, all right, I'll just keep her and I'll do like a forward lunge, knee to the ground, pick something up. Hopefully keep my back straight. But anyway, ideally I wouldn't be doing that and just, I don't know. So I've been noticing it. So
Yeah, so we'll actually lunge in class today so we can check in with how that feels for you and whether you are engaging your core as you go through that movement. But I think you're doing the mum cheat too. It sounds like you're doing exactly what I think, and maybe it's okay when you've got a little baby, but I think, and maybe I'm still doing it even though my babies aren't little anymore, and I still do this kind of like walking along to pick up a toy, and I kind of go into this lunge, and I feel like I'm doing it all with really good alignment. But the point is, I'm doing it all the time. So anything that we do repetitively becomes exercise, and it becomes, it builds strength in specific muscles and weakness in others.
yeah, it's definitely more of a leg thing for me. I'm probably not engaging my core at all. And I do I'll do a demonstration.
Do your demo. Yep.
Pick this up, and
Yes.
I'm definitely going to be having to lean over a little bit, so that's not good. Anyway, but yes, I'm doing it repetitively, and so it's interesting. I've been thinking about that, what you're saying, like, the things we do are building muscles, even just our habits, but if we just only do those things, then we're like not building in other ways. So
Right.
yeah, I've been trying to do holding babies on both sides, different arms. And then about the breathing, I've been thinking more of it as a wave instead of kind of like, I don't know, I was trying to like really isolate, and like do it kind of without any flow. And so now I'm trying to build the flow into it. So it's a little more, I don't know, natural, if that makes sense. So
Yes, yes, cool. Because definitely those exercises we were doing we were trying to isolate and create more kind of distinction between the different quadrants of our core. So that's awesome. So now you're finding you're able to breathe into the diaphragm but have that kind of more flowy, soft breath that naturally opens. Can you feel it moving your organs? Can you feel it getting down into your pelvic floor when
yeah.
you're doing that breathing?
Mm-hmm. It's becoming less challenging. Like I can do it without as much focus as I needed the first time around. And I do notice, last thing I'll mention is with the calendar and everything, that I may not have been writing. I'm not a very good recorder, but I do notice that like once we do the class for a few days, it's like this track curve of like, I feel good, the day of, the next day, the following day, but then by the time next class rolls around, the past 2 or 3 days, I'm like, oh, I need a class. So
Ah,
I'm only just doing the class for now because of everything going on, but I'm realizing I need, to probably redo the classes. But anyway, I am noticing that the class helps, and if by the next class I'm like, oh, I need the class again, like so.
yeah. Yeah, and I'm the same way, Daisy. I think we all just get into our old habits. We've got, 35 years or so of habits that we're evolving right now. So yeah, me too. Me too, sister. Okay, Miss Roz, let me unmute you. How's your hip doing?
Um, it was better. I took a rest week last week as far as my workouts really, and I just did some plyo and cardio rather than more weightlifting.
Mhm.
So it's feeling a little bit better, but it's still there, especially because yesterday I did a full day of gardening. So
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's back.
Which is the perfect opportunity to practice your core workout, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a lot of bending. I bend straight from the waist when I'm picking.
Uh-huh.
Get really close, so there's no room to do a lunge or a squat or anything. Well, I guess
Mm.
there's room to do a squat, but it doesn't often work that way.
Mhm.
And I just, when I have to get up, it just feels so bad.
Mm. So from going from like leaning over to standing back up causes pain.
Yes, in my lower back.
How do you describe that? Is it like is it jarring? Is it stabbing? Is it what's the sensation?
Stabbing.
Stabbing
Hmm.
in the sacrum, you think, or do you think it's in here, or is it higher?
A little tiny bit higher in my lower back. It's like
Okay.
L4, L5,
Okay.
right there where I have my bulging disc. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and it hurts when I sneeze too.
Oh, honey, something's out.
I've noticed that a lot lately. That when I sneeze, it really hurts. I don't think that's normal. So.
No, it's not. Um, yeah. So you're gonna get a massage. That's gonna happen, and
Hopefully.
yeah, we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah.
And I will call people personally, Roz. And we're actually going to do some forward folds in class today.
Okay.
So let's just please take it really slow. And like I just encourage you to work extra hard on that alignment of tucking in the ribs, engaging the multifidi, then tuck the ribs back in again. It's like this, it's really hard to do both that and that. So do that hard work. And we'll see how we go with the breathing too.
Okay.
The cobra, like we'll do the cobra really gently at the beginning of class, and I'll have you really focus on how to keep that engagement while also breathing in as you lift up.
Yeah, cobra can be a little bit of a tough pose for me. So
that hurts. Yeah. So there will be some belly stuff that is going to get right into your multifidi. And if that, so it sounds like that's where it's angry. So if it's strong sensation, I encourage you to breathe through it. If it's stab in the back, then back off. Just rest and breathe. Really, just not worth pushing it through stabbing. We don't like stabbing. Okay. All right, Miss Anaya. Good morning.
Morning. I don't know, this everyday movement stuff, I have such a hard time paying attention to it. I'm always so distracted by the 2 kids and the 2 dogs and everything else going on around me. But I'm trying to pay more attention when I brush my teeth. And I also notice that like when I sit down, no matter what chair it is, I feel like I just completely relax every muscle in my body and I'm like pretty much laying down.
Yeah. Because you're tired. There's that.
Yes, but I get a lot of sleep, so I think I need to like suck it up a little bit, hold my body up a little better, and so I'm going to focus a little more on that, sitting down with better posture.
That's huge.
And, yeah, and Roz, thanks for reminding me about gardening. I'll pay more attention to myself in gardening too. I think I do squat a lot though because I don't have very much space. So I'm like just getting down really small wherever I can. But it's a good reminder to be doing those movements with more mindfulness about where my body is. And lately I've been like carrying Mabel on my back in an ergo. So all the more reason to have good posture. so I don't tweak myself out. But
Definitely. Why the ergo? Why not just throw her up on your back like a monkey?
I usually do that, but she wants me to carry her all the time, and I can't do anything else if I don't have any hands free.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Our little Mabel's going through a developmental leap, huh? She wants reassurance from her mommy.
I mean, she's been like that for the last like 2 years. So I just had to pull it out again, pull out the ergo, and I was like, oh, why haven't I done this? I don't know why I haven't been using it in so long, because it's nice to have my hands back.
Yeah, so. That's true. That's true. All right. Great. So, and your lower back feels all right, right? You're just all about how do I get these guys all working?
My lower back feels good. Where I feel it is in my upper back. I feel a lot of tension in my upper back and soreness and stuff in my like shoulder blades and stuff. That's where I feel it. But my core, I feel disconnected from my ab muscles. But my back, I feel pretty good about. So.
Okay. And I would say that the stuff up here is as a result of the feeling disconnected down here. So as you kind of, I encourage you to consider as you're sitting down and you find yourself, you sit down, right? We do this. So then as you start to fix your posture, notice if you're trying to do that. Like, so the first thing to do usually is to try and lift the shoulders up and back. And that's what we've kind of been taught to do. But I want you to try and actually stack from the bottom up. So see if you can like roll the pelvis forward first. So drop the pubic bone forward, lifting up and engaging the multifidi, then tucking in the ribs, then lifting the chest, tucking in the ribs. And you're going to find this like stacking thing happen from the bottom up. And then you can still keep your shoulders completely relaxed. But if you really want to draw them back, go for it. But we just don't have to do anything with our shoulders or our upper back if we're stacking from the pelvis up in the right way. So maybe, concentrate on that when you're sitting down rather than good posture. Think good pelvis, good pelvis. Okay. We don't want the pelvis rolled back. We want it rolled forward. Yeah, see, like, boom. Like, all you just did was roll your pelvis then, right? Yes. And your whole body, like, went up. Look at you. Star student. Love it. Thank you. All right, let us move our bodies. Goodness gracious me, we've got a really nice big check-in this morning because it was a small group. So let's get this party started. I'm going to get you all up on my big screen and I'm going to ask for you to sit as if there is an urn on your head, please. Yep, that is what my teacher notes say. So noticing your pelvis and how it's, oh, nice one, Daisy. Yeah, love it. Block on your head. Like, let's do this. Nice call. So rolling that pelvis forward, tucking in the ribs. Go through the motions of stacking yourself. And close your eyes. Begin to breathe mindfully into your diaphragm. And every time your diaphragm expands on the inhale and moves down and then lifts up on the exhale, you're massaging your abdomen, you're massaging your organs, your digestive system. You're creating more tone in your pelvic floor as it responds to the load of the diaphragm moving up and down. As you breathe out, can you feel for the lift in the pelvic floor? If it helps to get your transverse abdominis switched on with a shh, then just go for it. A couple of little shh or a chicka chicka. And now that you've established your connection to your breath, you feeling that, Anaya? Can you feel that? Good. Nod your head with your block on it. Good luck with that. Okay, so we're going to make our way down to basically to our shins. So coming to your knees. See if you can keep that urn on top of your head maybe. Come to your shins with such care and attention to detail that that block is going to stay put. Oh, yeah. And notice how your pelvic floor is having to help. Notice how your diaphragm is contracting to keep you stable. This all happens automatically, normally. We're just giving it a little bit of help. Now let's get the block out. You can put it on the floor, out in front of you, and come up onto your shins on your knees and hands behind your sacrum. Give your sacrum a little bit of love. Notice if this happened. And draw your bum back, pubic bone down, ribs in. And this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to lift one arm out to the side. I'll do it facing forward so you can see me. And we're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, arm comes down as you look in the opposite direction. So ear comes down to a block. And then we're going to lift back up again, looking forward as the other arm lifts forward. And then exhale down and look in the opposite direction. Lifting up with the left hand. And Roz, is that causing pain? Do you want to stay up a bit higher? I don't expect you to go all the way down to the floor. You can even put that block up to the next level if that helps too. So arm up, inhale. As you inhale, remember, tuck in the ribs, engage multifidi, and then opposite ear goes down, or look into the opposite direction, I should say, and then up. And just notice the rotation that's happening in your spine as you turn your head to the side. Exhale down, inhale up. Send your bum back towards your heels when you come down, Rose. Yeah. So when you come down like this and then up and your hips are above your knees. So feel for that counterweight. So you're not hanging in your back because your butt is going back towards your heels. Nice. And if you're even on both sides, you can join me down on the floor on your belly. Maybe come down through a little mini plank, a little mini push-up, keeping the ribs tucked in, butt up. And we're going to do a little cobra with the block between our legs. You can put it between your thighs or your ankles, depending on what feels better for you. Get it on in there, hands by your sides. And exhale to engage the core. So exhaling, contracting the diaphragm. Once you're feeling nice and strong and stable and set up, then lift the chest, the head, keep the chin tucked. And you can lift the hands off the floor too if you'd like. And then I'd like you to please bend your left knee, bending the left leg and drawing the left foot into your glute. And then let that left leg go. Bend the right knee. Right foot goes towards the glute. Keeping your chest lifted if you can. So staying up. Keep that head up, mama. And chin tucked, and then right knee down. Bend the left leg, left foot into the glute. Sync your movement with your breath. Exhale to contract. Inhale to expand and extend. And take a little break. Once you're even on both sides, let your head rest on the floor. Bring your hands by your sides and wag your tail. Waking up your multi-foot eye. Give your butt a little wag. And press yourself back to hands and knees. And do your wheel or your Chakravakasana, rolling the low back. Remember, we tuck the tailbone down as we round the low back and send it back to our heels. And then forward, arching the spine slightly as we come forward, lifting the tailbone, inhale, then round the lower back, exhale back. Ragdoll that top half of your body. So we're really isolating the sacrum, the pelvis. Is that all right on the low back, Rose? It's okay, all right, good. Waking it up gently. And then back down onto your belly, please, after your next round. We're going to bring the soles, keep the feet together and bring both feet in towards the butt. Just feel what that feels like, and then straighten the legs. So really squeezing the legs and focusing on trying to keep the feet connected. So your feet are going to be connected. We're going to be doing some butterflies eventually here on our bellies. So contract the core to set up, and then inhale to lift the chest and the chin and the head. You can lift the hands too. And then we're going to bend both knees and send both feet into the butt. And then extend. Not letting the feet come down to the floor. Bend the knees into the butt. And sync that with your breath. Inhale to extend. Exhale to contract. And this might be enough, and particularly for us, this is probably enough to keep doing this for a few more rounds. But if you'd like to take it up a notch, you're going to lift the legs up off the ground. So your thighs are up off the ground as well. And you're going to bend the knees. Oh my God. And then we're going to spread the knees. So I'll go do this from the back. And then we're going to keep the feet together and then bring the knees back together again. Knees apart, knees together. And I don't know about you, but my knees do not actually come back together here. I need to really work hard to contract my core in order to bring them closer together. My sacrum is like, nope, not going to happen. But if that just feels like way too much, then we just lifting the legs up off the ground and feet go into the low back towards the bum. Or legs are on the ground and we're doing it with our thighs connected to the ground. See if you can keep those ankles together, Daisy. Yeah. And if you can, lift the thighs and spread the knees like the butterfly. Yeah. And then the legs go out and then come back together, and yeah, got it. And for extra bonus points, if you're feeling like that's just not enough, and actually, no, there's no bonus points for that. It's just, bleh, this is easy. I need more, which is like none of us, right? So you can be doing your butterfly and reaching your legs, your hands out in front of you. Inhale to extend. Exhale to contract. And let's take a break. Let your head come down to the floor, wag your tail, and either stay here if you just feel like this is like the nice place to be, or come to your hands and knees with your ribs engaged and do your wheel pose. And take a child's pose. Take a moment in child's pose with your head on the floor to just feel. Just let your lower back kind of relax. And then come up to your hands and knees with your eyes closed. And I want you to just undulate. So move sensually in really non-linear ways. Kind of in ways that your body can't predict you're going to move. And just enjoy the fluidity in your body, the femininity in your body, the spontaneity. And we're going to make our way up to our feet next. So from hands and knees, pay attention to how you're coming up. Are you going to come up as through a squat? Are you going to come up through a lunge? And if you're doing a lunge, are you doing it on your non-habitual side? You're going to come up through a forward fold. Get on up. We're doing pyramid pose. Parsvottanasana pose comes next. And I'd love for you to have a block on its highest setting out in front of you. We're going to face the block. If you're pregnant, Sarah, I need to check in with you today and see how you're doing. Then I'd love for you to have some sort of chair or a wall or a bench. You've done pyramid with me before, so I don't want you to come down all the way into the forward fold. So let's have the right foot kind of in the front and heel toe that left foot back about kind of half a leg length or so. It's like 2 feet-ish, and the back leg is out at that 45-ish degree angle. And just check in straight away with your hips. The orientation is typically we tend to pull that left hip back. So can you just draw the left hip forward, right hip back? And just check in with your pelvis. Can you draw the pubic bone down? Engage the multifidi. Can you press into your feet in a way that feels like you're squeezing a block between your legs without, messing with your knees? Then we've got all of those nice little things. And we're going to really want to use our glutes here. We're going to come halfway down in the pyramid pose. So halfway on our exhalation, lifting the ribs, lifting the tailbone, and then inhale like we're in the cobra. Maybe even bring your hands to your sides and think of how you come up in the cobra to come all the way back up again without letting this happen. And then exhale down. We're going straight over that front foot. And then inhale, press up. Let's do that a couple more times. Exhale, engage. Inhale, back up. Press into your feet evenly to come back up. I want both feet working. One more time. So your whole torso is parallel to the floor. Bend that front knee if the hamstring is way too tight. And inhaling back up. Nice. Okay, we're going to come all the way down. So come halfway on your exhale. Bring that left hip forward slightly, Anaya. Right hip back, yeah. Halfway, inhale here. And then exhale again all the way down. And you can bring your hands to that block, or if you've got that chair out in front of you, I want your hands on the chair. Now, once you're down in your forward fold, check in with both of your feet. Have you got weight evenly distributed in both feet? Send that right hip back, left hip forward. Are you breathing? Can you let your head hang heavy? Let your head release down. Now, we're going to lift back all the way up, and I want you to think about how your legs are working here, how your glutes are going to help you, and obviously how you're going to connect the dots with your diaphragm and exhaling into here and squeezing the diaphragm together, like in and up as you exhale. So think of squeezing your feet together as if they're trying to glue themselves back together again and drag across the floor. And lift your head up, straighten your spine. And I want you to come up on an inhalation. So that feels different. So exhale, engage, lift the ribs, drop the pubic bone, and then come on up on a breath in, just like you're doing your cobra. And then feet parallel. Heel toe them in together. And just feel. Take a moment to feel. And next side. Left foot faces, is closer to the block, and left and right foot is about 2 feet behind you. Down out of that 45-degree angle at the back, but draw that right hip forward, left hip pulls back, without the knee kind of being torqued at all. I would turn your right toes forward slightly, Rose, so they're not totally out to the side. Yeah. You beauty. Now let's do the halfway. So we're going to exhale halfway. Inhaling back up. Both feet are working for you. Exhale down. Inhale, back up. Hey, Grandma. 2 more times. Oh, it's not Grandma, it's Grandpa. Really using your feet to come up, your glutes to come up. Your zone of apposition, these guys right here between your ribs. Your multifidi. And we'll come all the way down on the next round. Exhale forward. Inhale at the halfway point. And then exhale all the way down. And by all the way down, it might be all the way up here. It doesn't have to be down on the ground, particularly if your hamstrings are tight. And we love our hamstrings. Our hamstrings are actually a really core part of our core. They are, we've got a superficial fascia line that runs all the way up the backs of our legs and then all the way up our spine, all the way to the crown of our head, like one long line of fascia. And so we want our hamstrings to be strong and flexible, not weak and tight. Typically, if they're tight, it's because they're weak. Use a breath out to engage your core. Contract it and lift the head, lift the chest. Inhaling halfway up. Engage again as you exhale and inhale all the way up. Tuck in the ribs. Feet parallel, heel toe them together. And feel. You do a little bit of undulation, a little bit of dancing, celebration. Okay, we're going to set up for Utkatasana with the block between the legs. And this is going to be fun. We're really strengthening the backs of our legs here. It's going to be so fun because we've done our Utkatasana a few times, right? Boom, these ones. And not doing those ones, not letting the ribs out. We tuck the ribs in, engage the multifidi. So there's our Utkatasana. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down in our Utkatasana. We're going to come up onto our toes. We're going to bring our heels back down to the ground. We're going to straighten up. And we're going to come back up onto our toes again. And then we're going to bring our heels back down to the ground. Sit back down into the chair. Hands down. Up on toes. Bring the heels down, stand up on toes, heels down, sit down. Arms can come down. So you've got that kind of flow, right? Now can we pay attention to our breath? Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do this a couple more times. Inhale up and just really check in with those ribs. I can't see you from the side, so otherwise I'd be just telling you, like, tuck in those ribs. Like, really exaggerate the ribs tucking in and drawing down to the pubic bone. Really exaggerate trying to lift the multifidi and engage the multifidi. So inhaling comes all the way up, and then we try and lengthen the exhalation as we come down. Now you can take the block out from between your legs, have a little celebration, undulation. Block out in front of you, please, for a wide leg forward fold. And again, this is going back to Rosa's gardening experience, I'm sure. So I don't want to create any stabbing in your low back. I'll show you from the side because we're, again, just like we did in the Parsvottanasana, the pyramid, we're going to go do a few halfways and then coming back up again before we give ourselves a nice juicy stretch. But let's stay upright and check in with the core. Toes are all pointing straight ahead. Ribs in, pubic bone rolls down, but we're really connecting these guys. Inhale as you inhale after you exhale. How about that? Is that nice and confusing for you, Roz? You know, you have to breathe in after you breathe out. So just do that, all right? So we'll exhale our way forward halfway, not going all the way, feeling for leaning back into your heels. Can you kind of send your weight backwards slightly? And then we will, like Cobra, inhale ourselves back up. Feel for your glutes really helping you out here. We want them to help. Exhale, forward fold, halfway. And then inhale slowly back up, squeezing the legs together without doing that when you get back up. And I know none of you are actually doing that. I'm just giving you that as an exaggerated opinion of what possibly is happening if you lose that engagement. And after the next halfway point, we'll go all the way down. letting the head hang heavy. You can take hold of the block if you like. You can let your head rest on the block if you like. And just really let gravity do its thing to your neck. Let the head go, Roz. I want to give you a head massage. Just let it hang heavy. And just think about that fascia line that's running from the top of your head all the way down your spine, all the way down the backs of your legs. It's one long line. So maybe, and so they say that if you bend your knees slightly, that can help to break the line a little bit, which may give you a little bit more give in your low back, apparently. That's what they say. Not everyone agrees on that. Let's come back up all the way. So set up, use your breath out to engage, and then inhale all the way up. And undulate, heel toe your feet back together again and dance. Hi girls, I do see you. You guys can hang out there. Go have some bananas. No bananas, you want to watch me? Okay, all right. No, I'd rather you just watch from there. Can you do that? Okay, all right. One more forward fold. Feet out wide, please. Hands on your hips if that helps, or you can bring them to that little hinge point here, which is really nice. We want to get that as deep as possible. Exhale, and all the way down. And once you're down, I want you to kind of move your pelvis around. You can bend one knee and then the other. You can try and do a little cat-cowish kind of lifting the pubic bone and dropping the pubic bone. But just kind of move the pelvis down here in this position. And now that we've all forgotten what to do to come back up again, remember we come up on the breath in. So use your breath out to engage, and then inhale, lift the whole torso halfway, engage again halfway with your breath out, inhale all the way up. No rounding of the low back, please. Heel toe those feet back together again. And we're going to come on into Warrior Two next. So Warrior Two, I want you to heel toe those feet back out wide and point your, let's have the right foot forward, left foot back, and open the left foot so that it's kind of, it's pointing out to the side. And then we can sink into that front knee. Notice the alignment of the back heel and the front heel. You kind of want those heels to be aligned on the same plane. That's what we're going for here. And then we're going to bring hands out to the sides and have a lovely, beautiful Warrior Two right here. Feel like that right knee is tracking over the front of the toes. So we want it to, we're actually going to, we don't want it to go past the toes, but we want it to track towards them. And this is where we get into the hamstrings again to strengthen them. We're going to lift the heel off the ground in the right foot and then put it back down again. Lift it up. Keep concentrating on your zone of apposition. We want it to expand with the diaphragm inhaling, contract with the diaphragm in the exhalation. I can totally open your banana. Come over here, you guys. And now hold that Warrior Two with the heel up. There's one banana. So can you do all of these things while also opening bananas? And we can let that heel rest back down on the ground. Straighten the leg, feet parallel, and let's turn the other direction. Bending the left knee towards the left toes. Check in with your ribs, check in with your pelvis, and lift up that left heel and drop it. You love that move, Kendall? You know it? Cool. Lift the heel, drop the heel. And let's hold that heel up for a few breaths. Smile if you can. Don't let it get too serious. Just the smiling can help to release tension in your shoulders, your neck. Now peel a banana again and let that left heel come down to the floor. Straighten the left leg. Feet parallel. Heel toe them in under your hips. And take a little Tadasana. You can move if you'd like, or you can just stand really still and just feel. Just feel what's going on in your beautiful, strong body. Now, we've got 5 minutes left to the hour and we haven't done our lunges yet. So let's try and do a couple of those lunges and we'll do the rest of them next week. So come on down to the floor. I want you to get down to the floor in a way that is either a squat or a forward fold. Pick your poison. You're coming down to the floor this way and then sitting down on your butt, or you're coming down in a forward fold, down to hands and knees. Either way, grab both of your blocks and get them handy. And we're going to set up for a lunge. Bring the right foot forward, please. Notice how you bring that right foot forward. Did you engage the core? Exhale and draw the knee forward. So it's a breath out to bring the knee forward. And we're just kind of in a very, very right angle positioned lunge here. And we're using our blocks at the front because what we're going to do is we're going to walk the right foot forward and we're going to sit back towards our heels. So we're going to straighten the front leg and then we're going to come forward into the lunge and then straighten. Both hips moving back at the same time. I know it's like I'm stating the obvious, but you'd be amazed at how much we compensate for our aches and pains and our weaknesses. One side may be more bossy than the other. And you can lift your toes as you come back to get into your hamstrings. And notice as you come forward, are you completely dropping into your hips and kind of hypomobile, or can you stop halfway? So don't come to your full range of motion. Stop halfway and then draw yourself back again on an exhale. Now stay with the leg extended, please. And I want you to tick-tock your foot side to side. You can see that so we're kind of rotating the entire leg. Yeah, sort of looks like a clock, Kendall says. Now stop for a second and think about, were you doing that from your foot or were you doing that from your femur, from your hip socket? Can you originate the movement from the hip and allow the foot to be completely flaccid? The foot is... I made an eye giggle. You just let the foot be completely neutral and rotate the leg from the hip and the foot follows. And then come back to neutral again and do the opposite again. So flex the foot and make the foot lead the way. The foot tick-tock side to side. Does it kind of feel different to you? Do you feel things differently? Okay, cool. That's all we want, to notice. But what we want to know, so go back to neutral and then go back to the flaccid foot. What we want is everything to move from the hip. And we want the core to be telling the leg what to do. Takes a lot of concentration. Now come back to neutral, please, and lunge forward. Enjoy a nice juicy stretch. Notice if you're making a beautiful back bend here, and can you tuck the ribs in? So we're not doing this. We're keeping ourselves completely engaged. Squeezing the legs together. Now your challenge to switch sides is to come through a down dog. So you can do that down dog on top of your blocks. That might actually help. And let me show you. I'm going to lift up that back leg and I'm going to really round my spine, lift my knee up into my chest and lift the right foot off the ground and step it back into a down dog. So there was a lot going on there, right? So left leg lifts off the ground. Send your hips up to the ceiling, round your spine, lift your knee up towards your chest, foot comes up, right foot goes back. Enjoy a down dog. Relax. And then we're going to bring the other foot forward in exactly the same way. Lift the left knee up into the belly towards the chest, round the spine, weight forward into your hands, and drop the left foot between your hands. Look at you. You're a yogi, Roz, and you didn't even know it. It's easy. Bring the right knee down to the ground and the top of the right foot rests on the ground. And let's do our rocking back and forward. You probably want to scooch the left foot forward slightly. Lunge and then heel on the ground as you straighten the leg and lift the toes. Both hips on the same plane. I know that sounds, again, it's obvious, but one hip might be leading. You might be kind of slumping into one side. So try and use awareness of your hips to move them both in the same way. Going for stability. And let's hold that lunge for a couple of breaths. Enjoy the juicy stretch. Squeeze the legs together. Draw the ribs in. And let's prepare for that down dog again. So come onto the toes of the back foot, on the ball of the back foot, lift the right knee up off the ground. You can bring that left knee in towards your chest, coming maybe up onto the toes of the left foot, round the spine. Send your hips up towards the ceiling and lift that left leg and step it back to meet the right. Bend one knee and then the other knee in your down dog. Stretching one set of hamstrings and then the other set of hamstrings. And then slowly bring your knees down to the ground. And spread your knees apart, sit back into a child's pose. And feel. Feel for the sides of your ribs expanding as you breathe in, like an accordion, and contracting as you breathe out. Back up to your hands and knees, please. And make your way onto your back for a little Shavasana. And as usual, if you're more comfortable with your legs up on a bed or the couch or up on a wall, Please choose what is most comfortable for you. You can bring your hands to your diaphragm, the base of your ribs, and just notice your relaxed zone of apposition. Off camera, Kendall. Off camera. Thank you. If you feel like you've lost that awareness of your transverse abdominis, remember to shh. I can just give you that interoception, that internal awareness of where they are and how they're helping you. We're going to transition to our seat, but can you please first use a more intentional exhalation, intentional contraction of the diaphragm to brace yourself before you roll to your side, and keep that brace as you inhale your way up to a seat. And put your imaginary urn back on top of your head. Check in with your pelvis. Rolling the pelvis forward, tucking the ribs in, relaxing the shoulders. Smile. Bring your hands together at your heart. Just to feel for your own connection to yourself. And your connection to all of us and to all that is around us. I hope you can go and walk around in nature at some point today and practice these things that we've learned, because it just takes practice. These are awkward things to do. These are uncomfortable, weird things to do in our day-to-day movements. And it's through that repetition that we're going to see results, and we're going to create new patterns, new habits that we don't even have to think about. We won't even have to think about it the same way we don't have to think about brushing our teeth. So namaste to you. Have a wonderful day. We've got a much harder class next week. We're really going to take it up a notch into the glutes and into the butt. So if you were feeling like, okay, I was telling you to switch on your glutes and you were like, I don't know how to do that, we will wake those babies up next week. Check in with me through the week. I want to hear from you. I want to see you. And I want to know what epiphanies you're having. What are you learning about your body? Write it down. Tell me. Tell someone else. Celebrate it. Because it all matters. It all matters to your health and your longevity and your happiness. And yeah, can you tell I'm a bit passionate about it? A little bit, just a little bit. So I will stay on the line if you want to ask any questions. Otherwise, I will let you all go and get on with your day. And thank you so much. Bye.